Luxa up there as well. I'm Fundy, joined by Jobin, and let's get into things.
Yeah, we had such a great day of Smash all day through the pools yesterday. There was lots of banging matchups, as you said. Crews just went and finished, so now we got to get some singles action underway. As you said, Rob taking on Luxa to get us going with day 2. Championship Sunday, 5K prize pool, I believe 3,000, 3,500 to first, probably 60%, something in that range, and the rest will get distributed evenly.
Yeah, pretty much. I think, the pricing was interesting because it was like the initial 2,500 pop bonus, and then it was dependent on entrance.
Yeah.
But we did hit like 217,
Yeah.
so we should be pretty damn close to that 5,000 already. Luxa on this Ike using the Nair a lot to his advantage here. Even the trades with the grenades aren't really going to Rob's advantage, and we saw him use those so well yesterday.
Yeah, the way he was able to kind of space, keep chucking them, keep trying to keep the distance, but gonna drop the first stock there, not too bad. Also, good thing to point, we are gonna be best of 5s basically the entire way. It was best of 5s all day, right?
Yes, best of 5s pretty well all day as far as I am aware here with the format. Had TO Blue setting that one up, and there's pretty much gonna be 4 players out of winners, 4 players out of losers, and presumably around 4 p.m., 4:30, we should be getting into top 8, and we're going to try and get all of top 8 streamed because you want to see every single matchup there.
And I know some of the players that, some of the Fisher guys, some of the other schools, maybe you didn't have success in crews. Now you can step up. I can handle my own business. I don't need any teammates. I can step onto the server. I can put some hands on someone, and I can try to walk away, get some cash out of the weekend, try to get a dub under your belt, at least in some kind of capacity. And this game so far, Rob is going to be a little bit behind, up over 100, so got to be a little careful trying to progress here. We are going to see Luxa playing a pretty clean game so far, just trying to see if he can keep getting that damage up, stay a little bit safe, and look for the kill shot when it's there.
I mean, he's getting so much extra credit on these kills. You saw that first time before he lost his first stock, 100% on Rob. Rob finally able to find that up tilt for the kill eventually, but what does it really mean when you're so far behind in the percentage? I think compared to previous games, we're just not seeing Rob utilize these grenades nearly as much. We saw Rob in the matchup versus Grayson, who was playing ROB. They were very comfortable to constantly be tossing grenades. We saw probably 1,500 grenades throughout that entire set, whereas here it looks like Rob trying to space around the sword a little bit more, which is just not going to work out against a disjoint like Ike, against a Ike Nair, which is just the size of a platform, but you still got those up tilts, and on PS2, that's killing through plat.
Yeah, that's good timing for Rob, too, because you're pretty down bad right now. You're looking at possibly stepping away, starting the second game, in probably a few seconds here if Luxa can eventually find the finish. And he's been playing pretty damn well so far, so expecting him to see if he can finally get the finish. But looks like a nice little comeback from Rob. He's actually starting to cook a little bit.
Yeah. Hold on. There's C4 down somewhere. I swear he had one on the platform, but it might have.
I don't think
it might have faded. He did just toss one down. Wait a minute. Can Luxa make it back? This could be the moment. Spike not going to come through. Both of them grab the ledge. This is down to the wire right now. Rob, somehow you've brought yourself to this position. You were down a stock and at like 100%, but you've barely taken any more. You've utilized all of those grenades with the forward air off the ledge. Fading back onto the stage. Luxa takes game 1, and after that first stock, I was kind of expecting Luxa to be a lot more dominant, but Rob really adapted, really stepped up to that, and stopped trying to challenge the Ike sword. That's the main thing.
Yeah, good to see early in the day if you fall behind, right? At least you're in the best of 5, in the best of 3. And saw even on stage earlier, you can tell people start to get nervous and they get a little bit down when they're going down 1-0 into that game 2. They go, all right, I got to really tighten up. I got to figure out what the hell I got to do to take this guy down. So Rob, great job to kind of come back there, made some noise toward the end. Eventually though, Luxa did end up walking away. So we're gonna fire up game 2 in just a few seconds. See these guys, see if Rob can get that dub back.
I'm gonna have to see what the counter pick was from Luxa, or sometimes we just go back to PS2. We'll have sets where we'll play small battlefield all 5 games, and both players are like, let's small battlefield it out. Sometimes they're like, I'm counter picking to Smashville, and then I want Hollow Bastion, then I want Kalos, and sometimes you get PS2. Beloved stage, though.
Classic. Great game, great stage.
Honestly.
2 characters that will have nothing to do with Pokemon, but either way, they'll be happy to duke it out here one way or the other. And Rob off to a nice little start right now. Got a little bit of chip damage with the nades, but we saw Luxa dominant early game in the game 1. I mean, this is what he did yesterday, right? He just played the spacing on the nades. Listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If this was working yesterday, try to go back to the well, and then if that doesn't work, then you start to make it.
And look at this. Luxa can't do anything right now to approach because every time he gets somewhat close, there's a grenade dropped at his feet. It pops him up into another one. That's a daring up B to try and find. He tried to go for the spike at the ledge, but I think he reversed it. Likely a misinput there, but a great punish from Rob to be able to just hit that up tilt. You know it's going to kill. Such a strong move from Snake. Look at that. Was it the grenade or the C4 that helped him out there?
Yes.
Rob kind of gave Luxa the assist on that one.
Listen, whatever way you got to get it done, you will take it, especially now that we're in Championship Sunday. You don't really have any more chances to afford. There's no more chances to lose. If you lose, you are going to be all done for the weekend. So got to make sure you dial it in. You have a nice, good start to the day. Then you can ride that momentum on later on. And then once we get to these really heavy-hitting matchups, hopefully they're going to be prepped and ready for them.
Higher game, it's just quick approach, and then both players explode from a grenade, and you see both players fly out of the flames. And back to neutral. Casca, he's being cautious with his approach now, which I do like, or Luxa, pardon. Being very, very cautious with the approach, and not just running in with those nairs, trying to hit a lot more forward airs as well. The dash attack, super strong from Ike. That's a great kill move. Good burst option, just a little laggy on the recovery, so don't want to throw it out too often. But the reach on it, too, is going to really help you up against the Snake.
Yeah, and that's why I like that we're doing the best of fives, because it gives these players a chance to not necessarily try out other play styles, but you can, you have more time to make more adjustments. Yeah, adapt, maybe go into a different strategy. You see something in game one, you got a good look. You take that into game two, you hopefully parlay that into a game three, game four win. And right now, I mean, 140 a pop, dead even. Kill will be found, though. Great job by Rob to get that stock back. Possibly looking at a one stock apiece to end off this game, too, but he is in position now to try to take the lead, and he's going to get sent off.
And you talked about the best of five. There's a reason that in fighting games, a lot of traditional fighting games, even Smash players do it too, 1st to 10 is considered like the set that actually shows you who's a better player.
Yeah.
The longer set you have, the more indicative it is for you to really know, okay, this is the better player, because you just got more time to adapt, more time to pick out your opponent's mistakes and your opponent's habits and start to punish them yourself.
Yeah, that goes with any sport, any game.
Exactly.
The better player, the longer a series goes, the better player will win. You might lose 5% of the time, but naturally, you're going to be winning 9 out of 10 times. You're going to be owning the scoreboard, and Rob owning game two. Beautiful job to get that game back from Luxa. So we're going to have a nice little 1-1 scoreline rocking into game.
Yeah. Little Rob there.
Yeah.
At least opposed to game one, didn't lose the stock super early, and we saw it towards the end of it. As well. Those up tilts have been a key part of this, especially because they hit through those platforms.
Yep.
It means Luxa doesn't really have a spot to land unless he's completely out of Rob's way.
Yeah, and at that point, you're going to be more than happy if you're Rob getting into that situation. So great job game two, and you said it too, just played a lot cleaner game, was able to keep it even longer, getting far behind early in the set. Then you got to take chances, and that's going to open up windows to make mistakes. Sometimes things are going to go wrong if you have to go down that route. So great job to get the game two back. Now we're going to load into game three, see who's going to win the swing game. Obviously in the best of five, take that 2-1 lead, and should be queuing up in just 1 second.
You got a switch on the stage, so Luxa, of course, having the counter pick this time. Take us to Battlefield stage. Typically, the one that players will kind of agree to start on usually, but any two-plat stage is also usually there. Of course, we did see the PS2, something like Town and City maybe, but most people prefer, a more neutral stage. Town and City's got the trend.
Great map.
Yeah,
Classic.
exactly. Town and City is crazy, though, sometimes on the platforms. When they, fly away,
Yeah.
if you, grab and toss somebody into the blast zone at, 4%. Ozzy has some insane stuff he can do with his... It's like a command back throw. I don't remember the exact input, but it's very, very strong. It's got high base knockback.
Yeah, so far, another dead even game, and I think as we're going to see these series start to go on, right, you might see a dominant game one, then things are going to kind of shift back and forth as the series goes. We talked about adaptation, adjustments, kind of making reads, learning on the fly, discovering, because some of these players, right, it was such a big bracket. A lot of these guys might not have seen half of these players, might not know who they are, who they play. Exactly, so there's going to be a lot of questions coming in for the players, questions coming in for us. Luxa, though, no question on the kill.
Yeah, first one goes to Luxa, and I like the way, as we're progressing in this set, both players are respecting each other a lot more. Both Luxa and Rob. Rob playing the grenade game a lot better than game one, similar to how he did in game two. That's a great back air off of the up B as well and keeps himself at the ledge, gets a little bit of invincibility, does lose some stage control, but in back throw, that one.
Yeah, if you get clean for a bit too, he'll be in good shape.
100% is a little bit down on the percent, but unlike Snake, hurt that game or even a lead themselves with just 1 or 2 grenades, maybe even up in that C4, finding some kind of setup. Yeah, the down throw too. You get down throw, and if you make that read correctly or you reaction on that tech, then feeling good for sure. Rob, yeah, after losing the first stock, goes immediately back to respecting Luxa's sword, and we're already seeing the percentages even out a lot better. Luxa, though, very, very good with these up airs. It's such a strong move from Ike. It can kill so early, and someone like Snake loves to take their recovery all the way up high and start dropping grenades as they fall down from disadvantage, whereas Luxa can kind of just contest that. He can challenge that, and oftentimes it does end up in a stock.
Yeah, so far though, Rob, you're really hoping to get this stock nice and early. You don't want to fall behind. You don't want to end up dropping this third game, putting yourself down in the series, but he's done a much better job. Like you said, too, both players, healthy level of respect. They're kind of understanding how the game is starting to play out a little bit. Great get back there by Rob. Will find the stock. So once again, we're going to go down to 1 stock apiece. Rob is going to be, I was going to say behind, but he's got 60% in 5 seconds.
I think he just, 2 dash attacks or something like that. It's here from the Snake. Look at that. Not even, I don't even know if that was a 2-frame or if he just hadn't grabbed the ledge, hadn't snapped to it just yet. But you time the down air perfectly and finish that one off with a spike. A rough game 2 for Luxa, but going into game 3, takes early stocks, consistently kind of had the lead. Rob definitely contesting a lot in that game, but it felt a little bit more Luxa favored, granted him the win.
Yeah, it feels like Luxa is like, maybe not a quarter step ahead.
Yeah.
It's very, very even, but he's finding these little 3-4 second windows, landing the perfect attack. Like you said, Snake not able to get back to the ledge, had about 2 frames between him and the ledge, able to find that window, get the spike, and then get the kill. So, great back and forth by both players so far. Rob, down 2-1, fighting for your life right now. We're going to go back over to that same stage once more. And Luxa looking for the...
Hey, you're on the serious point now, and keep in mind, this is Luxa round, right? We saw Rob yesterday actually get taken down, and they were able to battle through that loser's bracket, make it to the top 64, but it's do or die for these guys right now. This is your tournament life on the line, especially for Rob, because this is match point for Luxa. Luxa at least has a game to kind of chill for margin of error. Of course, you don't want to have to use it, and right now, with the way Rob is playing, he might have to.
And do not underestimate people getting nervous in some of these spots. We just saw some of the best players in the world on stage getting tight during that crew battle. So nobody is immune to these kind of things. It's very hard to kind of keep that pace through a series. Make sure you don't get too high, don't get too low. Ride that even, feel that flow state, and then try to play your own game. And right now, Rob playing a very, very nice game.
Yeah, that was an interesting one right there. And actually helps him get back to the ledge. But Luxa doing a great job to just... Oh, wow. Regular get up tilt, and the timing on the down tilt was just not there from Luxa. Great punish from Rob. That's an interesting option because that up tilt is not fast by any means. It hits hard, but it is not a fast starting move. Maybe in comparison to some Ike stuff, it can be, but still.
Rob right now is putting on a clinic. This guy is putting on a show in Game 4. He is trying to push this Game 5. He is pushing the pace all over Luxa right now. The most dominant game we have had by far so far. He's going to grab a second stock, too.
Or blink and you'll miss it. Beep, 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 beep. Like, it's even casting, right? I'm not even in the game. I don't have to focus on, getting hit by the C4, but I forget it's there.
Yeah,
I forget it's there. I'm leaning into the TV like, oh, hold on the monitor. Is that a red dot in the middle of the stage? I can't tell.
It was tough on Pokemon Stadium too because the C4 is like a darker color. When it's on the black part of the Pokeball, it's like squinting, 2 pairs of glasses.
You literally are just looking
vision.
for the flashing red like LED, but it's about a pixel large.
Can't even imagine. Right now, I mean, are we looking at a flawless Game 4?
Possible right now. Like, Rob has just, we've kind of been talking about the matchup in the series in general, but in this game, Rob has literally been playing near perfect Snake, just constantly abusing those projectiles, making Luxa work for everything he has to do, and Luxa doesn't have the work ethic for it, apparently.
Yeah, Luxa, whatever you were doing in games 1, 2, and 3, you got to figure out how to go back to that because this game, he has just had nothing going whatsoever. You fell behind early. You're still trying to play catch-up. You're at over 100%. Rob is just looking for the kill shot. He's going to try to send us off to this game 4, or send us off into game 5, rather, winning the game 4. And right now, I mean, Rob's got to win this. Yeah, that's going to be it. That was absolute just destruction.
I mean, you're so far off stages, like very kind of abusable recovery by your opponent, and someone like Snake literally has the Nikita missile that he can control by himself. I mean, enough to edgeguard that. You don't really have to put yourself in harm's way as well as that Snake. So Rob completely flipping the series on its head, taking us to game 5 right now, and Rob not ready to go home today, okay? Showed up for this tournament, wants to play until the sun goes down.
And that game 4, that says exactly what you just said. That's a perfect echo of what he's feeling, because if you had a rough early series and you come out in game 4 like that and you're like, hey, buddy, game 5 now, mano a mano, we've got one chance to win this. One of us is going to go home. I just dismantled you in that game 4. I'm about to do it again.
Yeah, honestly, and that's if Rob just goes in, plays the exact same way he did,
confidence.
And if Luxa doesn't adapt to the approach, Luxa is constantly just running into grenades, running into C4s, and it's like the sheer amount of projectiles is just overwhelming his brain on the approach. And it's also stopped. I mentioned respect in game 2 a lot. The players just respecting each other's abilities, respecting the kit and the tools that they have access to. Luxa kind of stopped that last game. He was kind of just throwing himself into Rob, and it was not working out.
Yeah, Rob's been a lot better using the grenades and the C4 just to basically draw the line of scrimmage, keep Ike out of that melee range, keep him a little bit far away from you, play that spacing, like you said, the missiles, the grenades, the C4. You have so many ways to, right? Don't bring a sword to a gunfight necessarily. He's going to have a few more ways to poke him at range, try to keep him at bay, keep him at that arm's reach, and if you can start to rack it up. And once again, Rob picking up exactly where he left off in that game 4 is going to be a little bit evened up by Luxa, but I mean, this is exactly what we want out of game 5.
Yeah, the matchup, you got literally Solid Snake, the one-man army, essentially, and then you've got Ike, a.k.a. I fight for my friends. That's about
the power of friendship cannot be understated.
That's true. That is true, but right now that sheer military prowess is taking precedent. However, here in game 3, Luxa has immediately gone back to playing the Nair game, and it's beautiful because as Ike, we see it all the time, Nair links into everything. Nair into back air, Nair into Nair, Nair into Nair into Nair into up air. You can just keep doing it, and it's a giant circle around yourself. It's a fantastic move. Great way to get your kills set up, and the up air, if anything was going to find the kill, you knew it was going to be the up air.
I love seeing that start out of Luxa too. Game 4, right? He probably sits down after that and goes, you know what? I didn't have it that game. Whatever I was doing, not working, not doing it again, and not touching that strategy. This game, entirely new mindset, comes out of here, guns blazing, takes the first stock, starting to rack up a little bit of percentage as well, and a little bit, talking about a lot.
Yeah. And the really cool thing about Ike, too, is, like, yes, he has smash attacks, but you haven't even seen Luxa use the smash attack this game. You know why? Smash attacks might kill at, like, that was an interesting one. I think, did he get hit by something or he just lost the up B?
I'm not sure, but I'm sure he's not happy.
Yeah, we got to double-check the VOD there. Bob, though, SD is not where you want to be. At 20%, too. Had, like, a whole stock ahead of him. Now Luxa immediately given the advantage, immediately on the attack, and almost had it again with that down air through the stage. The back air, there into back air is going to find the kill. Beautiful from Luxa. And honestly, Rob, that was a tough last game to have an SD, and I cannot lie.
After that game 4, too.
I cannot, yeah, after you basically 3-stocked in game 4. I know he ended with 2, but he might as well have found that 3-stock, you know what I mean? But honestly, for that being Rob's last series in the tournament, he put it all on the line, literally backs against the wall.